Hello, and welcome to another episode of Reading Right with Amber. I'm Amber.
And I'm Brian, who did Amber's makeup today.
Yeah, so there's going to be a video over on Brian's channel. I don't know if it'll be out by the time this video goes up, but if you want to see what happened with my makeup today, stay posted. There's going to be a video. All right, let's go to our first story.
Oops.
Get a little sneak peek of our last story.
Yeah, you get a sneak peek. If you're not intrigued yet, I don't know. Maybe you read it before we got to it.
Our first story today is, am I the jerk for refusing to attend a wedding when my husband is not welcome there? I'm a 30-year-old female, and my friend who's a 31-year-old female is getting married in August. She invited me and my husband to the wedding already in October when she got engaged. I was asked to be her maid of honor. She didn't have the date immediately as she wasn't sure how it would be with COVID, and now she has the date and she's told me she thinks it would be better if my husband didn't come. I asked her why, and she didn't want to tell me at first, but then she said it is because he is shorter than me and it would look weird in pictures. He's about 5 foot 5 inches while I'm about 5 feet 5.4 inches. I think the difference is not that big, and I offered to not wear heels, but she said I must wear them because I'm the maid of honor and the bridesmaids will wear heels as well. I said that if my husband is not invited because of his height, then I am not coming to her wedding. She said that the day is about her and not about me and my husband, and I should respect her wishes about her day. She said that she counts me as her maid of honor and I can't do this to her. I told her she is being shallow and it is either me and my husband or neither of us. I talked about it with my husband and he thinks that I'm not the jerk and actually would think it would be bad of me to agree with my friend. However, he doesn't like her that much. She doesn't know that, so it couldn't play a role in it. So I'm not sure if his opinion is really objective. I asked my friend and she said that I am the jerk because it's just one day and it's about the bride, so I shouldn't make it dramatic. So perhaps I am the jerk because I am focusing on being there with my husband and not on what the bride wants. Edit. Thank you for your voting. I got so many comments I can't respond to all. I now see that I was not in the wrong to tell her that it is either both of us or none of us. Edit to update. After all the support I got, I am making a move. I wrote her a text saying that I understand that the wedding can be stressful and she wants it perfect, but that it really hurt me what she wanted from me. I wrote that I'm sticking with what I said, and unless my husband is invited, I am not coming. I want to be there for her and help her as a maid of honor, but I can't do that if she will have superficial demands. Edit 3 update. So far no reply. I am giving her till tomorrow, and then I will write to her that we are not coming so I can close it. Final update. So she finally wrote me. She very rudely told me that if this is my attitude, then I can F off. I was polite in my message, and she can't do even that. So we are not going, and I don't really want to talk to her after this at all. I tried my best to solve it and give her a chance. It's sad, but I guess she really was a toxic friend, as many of you said in the comments.
Well, I mean, she just wanted this picture-perfect type wedding, and I mean, he was just going to ruin it.
Yeah, no.
And, being short, being shorter than your partner as a man is just basically, yeah, you just can't do that.
Note to self, get 10-inch heels.
10-inch heels. What are you going to wear, giant platform shoes?
Yeah, so I can stare you down. I mean, I only need 6 inches to be on eye level with you, so, I'm going to add a few extras so that I get the height on you.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, I know how to use hacksaws to cut apart your shoes.
You would not do that.
I would if it was my height on the line.
No, you wouldn't. I've probably worn shoes that at least put me on eye level with you before, and you have not hacked them to pieces yet.
That you know of.
That I know of.
Yeah, I probably have cut up all the shoes that are make you too tall so that I don't feel insecure about myself. Probably. Good advice. Good talk.
No.
I'm glad that we came to this decision.
All right.
Conclusion.
OP, you are not in the wrong here. If the friend had different reasoning for not inviting the husband, it's going to be a space issue, we need a social distance and we don't have enough space or something like that. Like, there are valid reasons to...
Or no partners are invited.
Yeah, or no partners are invited. Like, there are valid reasons that the friend could have asked the husband not come, but the fact that he's short and it won't look as aesthetically pleasing in pictures is not one of them. I say this a lot, but, some of these people on Reddit, like, it seems that they want an image more than they want a marriage. And, like, that's really a sad thing. Like, ideally the day should be celebrating you and your partner as a couple, coming together as a union with your friends and family. And not just about picture-perfect images.
It's only about the picture-perfect images.
No, it's not. And you can have nice pictures and have people be different heights. It's not that weird.
Well, okay. And, like, if she's really this worried about it, just have your boyfriend bring a stepping stool. A little tiny,
a stepladder?
A stepladder or platform or something like that he can just drag around with him. Have him wear 13-inch heels. Platform shoes from the 70s. Stilts.
If don't do this, but if you were going to go to the wedding, then maybe that would be the route to go. Just get him, like, ridiculously tall stilts so he towers over everyone.
Yes. Yeah, get the tallest stilts. Like, the ones that the clowns kind of use to walk around in, so that he's, like, towering over everyone. Then he won't be shorter than you, and she'll have the picture-perfect pictures that she always wanted.
So, yeah, I don't think OP's the jerk here, and I think that her friend is being a huge jerk, and OP's probably better off without a friend who is basically like, well, your husband's too short to be in my wedding photos, so he can't come.
All right, our next letter is titled, Will I Be a Jerk If I Got My Little Sister's College Scholarship Revoked? I'm a 21-year-old male, and I've been an avid writer my entire life. I have written 3 full-length novels that I'm almost perpetually reworking, and a book of short stories all set within the same universe. I've been working on this universe and the characters within it since I was 13, and it's all very personal to me. This week, I found out that my youngest sister, a 17-year-old female, won a massive scholarship by submitting one of my short stories. I would have been upset regardless of which story she had taken, but she happened to pick the one based around my own experiences of feeling othered because of my autism. My sister is not autistic and has actually bullied me for my autistic traits in the past. So, the fact that this was the story that she picked to steal from me almost feels like an attack. In addition to submitting the story, she also had to write about what inspired her to write the piece. And even thinking about what she must have made up makes my blood boil. My parents are currently struggling for money, and this scholarship would pay for almost her entire first year. Both of my parents know what my sister did, and they have both asked me just to let it slide, because my sister having this scholarship is helping the family out a lot. They were also worried that the school my sister has been accepted to might find out and rescind her admission. They're both using the excuse that she's just a little girl who made a dumb mistake, and that it would be petty and over the top of me, an adult man, to hurt her future over it. I don't want to hurt my parents financially. I don't even really want to hurt my sister, but I don't want her to have this scholarship. I have all the proof that she is not the real author of the story. But will I be the jerk if I actually sent it in? Should I just let it go for the benefit of the family?
So this one is quite a tough one. And I want to say, first of all, no, OP, I don't think you would be a jerk if you were to send in the proof. And there's actually a number of reasons why this is so. I mean, first of all, your sister is taking your work and claiming it as her own. It also sounds like all your work is set in the same universe. So if she sets up authorship for this one story, And then you try to publish other stories set in this universe. Either one, your sister could try to claim ownership, or two, someone who had been involved in the scholarship process down the line could be like, hey, wait, this seems familiar, and could potentially have her degree revoked or something like that. So there are some ways in which it could go seriously wrong, either for you or for your sister.
Yeah. I think at the heart of this is academic dishonesty.
Yeah.
And that is the real crux of the issue here. This shows a level of dishonesty that just shouldn't and isn't permitted in school, period. She did something stupid. Yes, lots of people do stuff that is stupid all the time, but they have to suffer the consequences for that stupidity. And in this particular case, I think that there's just too many things that could go wrong where the truth is eventually going to come out. And like, take 20 years from now when she's already graduated, right? What happens if she tries running for some political position and someone's like, oh, hey, we know for a fact that your brother wrote this. Or, even less extreme, she basically says that she wrote this short story, and she's probably saying that she wrote it because her brother, who's autistic, inspired her, or something like that, would be my guess. When all this time, she's been nothing but demeaning and insulting towards, OP. And that right there alone just shows that she basically views him as a commodity to be used as she please. She doesn't really care, about OP's, future in publishing and whatnot, because if she did, she wouldn't have taken this story. And it just kind of is gross all around of her.
It is. Well, and what's to stop your family from not trying to pressure you to never release any works in this universe, because people might figure out that it's, they're connected or something like that.
Yeah, or even a more severe thing, like, if this is really good writing, what happens when she goes into her English class and can't write like this? Or is it going to raise suspicions? Then on top of that, what happens if she decides that, oh, this one story isn't enough for her, she's going to go and publish another story. Yeah. Or she takes, she just uses your writing as a commodity at this point in time, just to be like, well, I can do whatever I want with it now. It's my writing because I've taken ownership over it.
Yeah, like, as a writer myself, this sort of thing just, horrifies me. And, so I understand it's a really hard situation. But if you have a vested interest in, if it is important to you that you retain creative control over this universe and over this work, I do think you have to say something. Mm-hmm. It's the only way you can ensure that you will be acknowledged as the author and that you can retain control over this. Because again, if your sister's going around using your work as though it's hers, it may seem like it's just this one time, but what's to say she's not going to do it again? Yeah. And what's to say that, nothing's going to come out from it. So it's probably it's in your best interest to retain the control, but also there's a good chance that this will come out down the line, especially if you ever want to publish the stories, that she is not the original author of what she submitted. So it could also hurt her down the line as well. So it's going to hurt. It's going to suck. She's probably going to have her admission revoked. There's a good chance of that. But she can hopefully learn from her mistake, apply elsewhere, and move on.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't the end of the road for her, for sure. But I think probably the best option she has at this point in time is to come clean. Yeah. And just to admit to the school and be like, I made a really poor decision. I apologize. I was not expecting, the scholarship from this, or, any number of things there. I really think that she's put herself into a corner, and it's going to be really difficult. She could even go as far as to be like, oops, I accidentally submitted the wrong paper. I was working on editing my brother's manuscript and accidentally uploaded the wrong file. Oopsie daisy. And then say, this isn't mine. That might be I'm not saying that she should do that, but that might be a thing where they'll know that it's not true, but it's not her at least admitting academic dishonesty. So, it's kind of gross still for her to do something like that, but it might be like the least destructive of the options in that respect. I don't know if that classifies as Brian's bad advice or not.
Yeah, it's definitely on there. We'll put under Brian's questionable advice.
This is Brian's questionable advice.
But yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with, and I think it's actually kind of imperative, OP, that you do report her over this, and just for your own benefit, primarily, also for hers potentially, and for the other students who applied to the scholarship and legitimately wrote pieces.
Yeah, there are students who deserve the scholarship that she's gotten based off of your work, so you deserve the scholarship over her.
Yeah, all she's shown is that you should have had this scholarship. Our last story for today is, am I the jerk for only buying my daughter books that are close to her reading level? My daughter Rose, who's 9, is a very advanced reader. She's in 3rd grade with other 8 to 9-year-olds, but reads at a 9th grade level, 14 to 15 years old. Despite her advanced reading level, the only books she wants to read are the I Survived series and the A to Z mysteries. Both of these books are far below her reading level, so I told her it's fine if she wants to read them in school, but at home she has to read things closer to her reading level. I've taken her to bookstores and we've looked through the young adult section, but she refuses to read any of the books. She says they're all boring and gross. She always asks to get books from the children's section, but I've said no because they're too easy for her. Rose has started sneaking books home from school, and when I started taking those away, she stopped reading in general. Now Rose has pulled away from me, and her teacher is recommending that I let her read whatever she wants. Rose's dad, my ex, found out about this and tore into me for not letting Rose read books for kids her age and offered to send her books, but that's not the problem. I don't have a problem with Rose reading, but if she's going to read, she should read something close to her level. Now everyone's mad at me, so I wanted to know if I was the jerk.
No, this is pretty reasonable.
No, OP is 100% the jerk here.
I mean, like, you were really just trying to further your daughter's education and make her a stronger, better reader at all cost. And I think that, that is the white whale, worth, pursuing here.
No. I was an advanced reader for my age.
I wasn't.
You're also dyslexic. But I read books for my age group by and large. I loved the Goosebumps series, the Animorph series when I was like 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, books, Babysitter's Club when I was a little younger than that. And my mom hated those books, but she let me read them because they were books that were interesting to me. And it's more important if you have a child who likes reading. First of all, it's more important that you encourage this hobby and let them read whatever they want rather than discourage them, because reading is such an important life skill and it can really give kids, a window into new worlds that can help them think creatively and constructively. And, it's really a good hobby for your kid to have. Also, young adult books are not written for 9-year-olds. A lot of the topics and themes may be a little much for a 9-year-old. So,
or just boring and gross.
But, they're written, books that are written for 14 to 15-year-olds have a lot of themes that may not be appealing to 9-year-olds. So I think, for one thing, it may just be that the books that are her reading level are the ones that have the topics that interest her. I was going somewhere with that, but I lost my train of thought.
Well, okay, let's put the mom in this position for a second. Would she want to read books about teenagers, or books at this reading level? Would she have a great desire to read them? And there's the answer to that is probably no, right? And the reason why, even if they aren't challenging, beyond the challenging factor, right? They're not going to be challenging for her, but beyond that is the mom's probably not going to be interested by this particular set of protagonists or, life challenges or whatnot. The same thing goes for your daughter. She's not going to be interested in these kinds of topics. And I think keeping someone interested in reading is far more important than what they read. It doesn't matter if you hate comic books and you think that that comic books are bad writing or whatnot, if someone's enjoying reading them, don't discourage them from doing it if that's what they enjoy. So I think that she's just putting her, nose down at, young kid books, and that's just completely unnecessary in this case.
Right, and reading shouldn't be a chore. Like, it sounds like the mom wants to always push her to read at more and more advanced things, but like, I could read the works of Shakespeare all day long if I wanted to, but do I want to do that? No, I'd much rather read, horror stories that are written at like whatever level your standard adult book is written at, which is it's like 8th grade reading level or something like that. So they're not that intellectually challenging.
And I could sit down and read the works of Faulkner, but I have better things to do with my time.
Oh my goodness, I read Faulkner for existentialism and literature. I can read Faulkner.
I read Faulkner. I actually enjoyed some of Faulkner's works, to be honest. I mean, not to be mean and beat up on Faulkner. I did enjoy some of his stuff, and he did have some really interesting literary devices. But my goodness, man. Get on with the point.
Right. Well, and that's the thing is like there are intellectual works that like sure, a lot of us adults could read them if we wanted to, but we want to read for fun. And it sounds like the daughter that she's not trying to read to advance her reading level. And there's no point of her like learning how to read at a college level when she's 9. So, she wants to read to enjoy it. And you're killing that enjoyment, and you're killing the likelihood that she'll read in adulthood.
Well, I mean, her mom actually has a really good point and a really good strategy here. Being an adult is really unfun, and I think, like, she's setting up her daughter to be an adult right here. She's like, listen, this is what adulthood is about. Reading stuff that you don't really enjoy for long periods of time, have at it. This is life. Enjoy. I think that's a good place to end.
So I think OP has the wrong idea here. I understand that she wants to help her child, grow and expand her vocabulary and all that sort of stuff, but it will happen as it happens. I mean, when I was 8 years old, I started trying to read Firestarter by Stephen King, and I got like 1 page into it before I gave up. Because, like, even though I could read the words on the page, it wasn't written for me. Like, and so I loved his movies, but the books, like, they were just, like, even if I could, again, it's
sprawling.
Yeah, it's more than just, like, the words on the page. Like, can she sound out each word on the page? It's like, how well can she digest and enjoy the storyline? And children's books are usually a lot shorter.
Mm-hmm.
And so she may want something that's fast and to the point and all that sort of stuff. So
give her the room to grow at her own speed.
Exactly. All right. I think that's all the time we have for today. Am I quoting you again by accident? I think I am. Oh,
Go forth and quote me.
I hear you do your video all the time, so like now I have your outro in my head, and it's like, what even is my own outro? I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving me a like or letting me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.
That's my pantomime of your outro.
Yeah.